Hello everyone. So today we will continue our set of lectures related to the application discussion, and today our target will be the world scrambler. So the application is presented here. So how does it work? Right here we're supposed to enter some word. Let's make the world country. Okay, so after that we're supposed to generate the random sequence and the reverse sequence. So that particular random and reverse sequence, so we will use to do the scrambling. So what is the scrambling? So based on those numbers, what is presented here, so we will permute the characters in our world country. So like how does it work? See, the first here is the character with the index 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, T. So that's why the T will come first. Character with the index 6 second, third. Index 3, that will be the third character, and so on. So finally, instead of country, I will see that particular strange word. So the issue is that if I know the reverse sequence, so I can get my character, like my world back, using the scrambled word. So let's begin. For this particular application, we will need the random sequence application. So which is the random sequence video, and this is our previous lecture. So what we discussed before. So in that particular lecture, in details, I explain how to generate that particular random permutation sequence from the sequence what we have. So and that will be our reference for the word scrambler application, because in maybe 50% those two applications, they are same, because using the same components. So that's why here we do have that particular application, my random sequence video. So that's what you have in your own machine, because this is our previous code. So in here we are going to use it. Okay, so let's make a new app. Java project, so we will call it World Scrambler. Let's call it like the World Scrambler discussion. Okay, so here I will choose sequence, yeah. Let's place our World Scrambler discussion here. Okay, let's make package. Windows application. So the Windows application will be my words scrambler discussion. So this is our new app. Okay, so and let's start from the design. Okay, I think I will pause it because you all know how to do that. But later on, I will just go through the application. Okay, So the design is finished. So here is our world scrambler discussion. So, and it is just mimic the application what we do have right here. So a few words, what do we have right here? So what is the important? The first important item in our application, this is this text field, which contains our world country. And this is our like init word, like init word. So what we do have right here. Okay, so the next one is the scrambled word. So the scrambled word has the title, the scrambled word, exactly the same. Three buttons: the button generate, button scramble, and the button recover. So button clear. Button clear. So and one more text field. This is the scrambled word. So in here, where is the big label area, log, so where we are going to display our random sequence and reverse sequence. Okay, so the first what we will need to do is to generate a random sequence. Generate. Okay, so here the first what we will need to do is to generate those particular sequence. That part we will take from our random sequence application, so directly. We don't really need to change much in that application. So double click on the button generate. Okay, so here just come to our random sequence video. So in here is our button generate. So the first we will need to generate our initial vector S. Okay, so here we can just generate kind of original sequence S, which will be our like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here the more important if init world is country. So if not, so that will be a different story. See that here we are supposed to get the sequence length. So see here that sequence length we generate here, but in our case that will be different. So here define sequence length. So how can I define the sequence length? First of all, let's make it the global variable. So I have no idea what will be that sequence length, but that will depend what the world we enter right here. So for that, let's make a string initial word. So the initial word, that must be our world country, but we're supposed to get it from where? From that particular widget, from the text field, which called scrambled world. Oh, stop, not scrambled, init world. So here, how can I do that? So init world, this is the text widget. So here I can just get text to string. So that will be automatically became our initial world. Okay, what is next? So the next, we're supposed to get the sequence length. So I cannot use this anymore. So, but what I can do, so as long as I do have a string initial world, I can use the function length. So now we have information about all necessary components. So the next what we need to do is to define our sequence vector S. The problem with that S compared to the application we had before, random sequence application, I don't know how many elements in S we will have or we will use. So partially we discussed that issue with the random, like a random travel. So, but anyway, so here in order to resolve that particular problem, so here I can just simply do this. Enter, so create our sequence vector, like sequence array S. And okay, so here let's make 20. So stop, new integer 20. So see, here I will create an array which contains 20 elements. So, and that is hard to get the situation when the number of characters in our entered world will be more than 20. So here we can place any other numbers, but make sure that this number will be bigger than the number of characters what we are going to use right here. Okay, so this part is done. So that now I can identify the sequence S. So, and our S here, that should be the same as this E. So now let's display that particular in the original sequence here. So we need the function create string from array. So, but we already made it here. So this is our function. So that's why I will just copy it, place it here. As sequence array. So in here instead of original will be log. Okay, so the log doesn't exist. Why? Because again, see, the log is defined next to my function, to my button generate. Okay, so that's why I go back here, so the private. So and here just set up our log. Yeah, that should be enough. So now we can see, like start seeing, oh, okay. Later we can modify it. Just run and let's see how does it look like. So this is our okay. The few drawbacks should go to the design and make that particular labels a little bit bigger. Okay, anyway, now we can see that our S. So in the next, what we will need to do is to permute the numbers. So the permutation code we already have. It is again presented here in our my random sequence, and that is displayed right here. So I will just copy it. And place it here. So this, okay, so that one I don't need anymore. I don't want to see that numbers. So here I will like display log. Okay, I don't actually need to display log. So I need to display a random. Let's keep it as this. Okay, my random does not exist, so let's make it final random, my random, new random, new random. Okay, and import random library. Okay, done. So now I can generate my random, so this is fine. Okay, so here I don't want to display that particular steps. And I will display, so my permuted sequence in the log. Okay, so the log creates sequence. Okay, so here I will just add log get text plus. Okay, and here I supposed to add this part like a random sequence, random sequence, and this run generate. Okay, so that is our random sequence. So and here, if I will click many times, that will give us the random sequence. So this problem solved. But the important part here is how to get the reverse sequence, because for the random sequence, so we can get our like scramble world, but for in order to recover, so we're supposed to have the reverse sequence. How can I get the reverse sequence? Okay, define reverse sequence. So in order to define our reverse sequence, technically we need to come back to our source code. See, in the original sequence, so see, I already know where is my numbers. Okay, so technically what do I need to do is to identify where is my 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, in order to get so that particular reverse sequence. Okay, so the first of all, let's just create that particular array. So that the idea will be very similar to original sequence S. So but here, let's call it reverse sequence array, new integer. So and that must be the same as our original sequence. So now only the point is how to identify that particular number. Okay, now let's come back here. So this is our reverse sequence, and assuming that this is our original numbers 6, 3, 4, 1, 5, 0, 2. So see, what does it mean, this 6 here? So it means that my that character must be located in the position 6. So that 6 technically tells us what character from the world country I supposed to display first. But the same number I can use in order to display the reverse sequence, isn't it? Because that 6 will tell me that actually my original character had the index 6. You see here the 6 is in that position. Okay, so see the 0 has the position 2 and it is displayed here. So that's why like reverse sequence. So here I supposed to kind of get some numbers. Okay, let's consider some example. So assume that here this is the way how to create our original sequence S and the reversible sequence. So in the beginning, that reversible sequence must be exactly the same as the original one. So why? Because the all symbols, they are located in the exact position. Okay, now let's do that kind of permutation where the 3 and 6 will change the position. So the 3 move to the position 6, 6 move into the position 3. So now in order to recover the original sequence, so the reverse sequence will be exactly the same as the original sequence. Okay, now one by one, let's try. So our example. So the next, what we will need to do is to move 2 and 5. So this is 2, this is 5, so here is 5, so here is 2. Okay, so now, yeah, let's change it here. 5, this is R. So this is R. And this is. Okay, so now how to recover the original sequence? Okay, so 0, 1. Okay, so now where is my 2? In the position 5. Okay, so 6, sorry, the number 3. So here that's supposed to be the number 3. It's located in the position 6, 4. So, okay, so in here I supposed to get the position 5. So, and how can I get 5? So see, 5 is located in the position 2. So that's why here is 2. So up to this moment, again, there is no difference in between original sequence and the reverse sequence. Okay, go next. So the next, we will switch 0 and 4. So 4 is coming here, and 0 is coming here. Okay, so now, so where is the 0 in this sequence? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the position 4. So 1 is 1. So position 2 in the position 5. So position 3 in the position 6. So position 4 in the position 0. So that's why here is 0. So position 5 in the position 2. Position 3 like here. Where is my 6? 0, 1, 2, 3. So up to now, same. Okay, so do it again. So now we will permute 6 and 5. So 6 here, 5 here. So here 4, 1. Okay, now, so where do I need to get number 2? So the number 2 in the position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 will be kept here. So now, how can I get number 3? This is 6. Okay, so here that should be scrambled. My mistake. It's scrambled, yeah. Yeah, mistake as well. Scrambler. 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 Okay, so that one will be the scrambled word. Copy it. Go to the source. Okay, so here the scrambled word, set text, and here will be our scrambled word string. Okay, let's change the name. Let's check. Generate sequence, scramble. Okay, now we got the scrambled world. So we just use that sequence to display our characters. Okay, so what will be next is the recover. So the recover, so here, so again, let's make a string, call it recovered world, also make it empty. So we again need a loop, so for integer I, 0, I less than sequence length, I plus plus. Okay, so here make a loop. So it's technically I need this code. Here instead will be the recovered world. So see here, instead of the initial world, I will need to get that particular string. So I can create that particular string right here again, but I will not process the scrambling. So here what I will do, I will just read read text from our scramble world text field, which is this scramble world dot get text to string. Okay, so in that scramble world, now I need to use for a substring. Okay, and here instead of S, because the S was our random sequence, so but here instead I will need to use the reverse sequence. So the reverse sequence in our application, this is this array, reverse sequence. Copy that and place it here. So now generate sequence, scrambling. Okay, recover. So here, in order to display that recovered world, we will need to use that particular text widget, so which is our scrambled word. Okay, so here after the loop, so let's display it. Set text recovered world. Run. Okay, so generate scrambled recover. Some error. Okay, so what is the problem? So if we will consider the all possible cases, so here the index will start from 6, but see here there is no 0. So means that we will need to consider that particular situation. So that's why at the end, so right here, so we will need to add the component 0. So here 0, 0, like this. So that will solve that problem. So because the 0 will not appear in our code. So here there was no any problem because we technically just like swap our numbers. So in reality, if we will just produce, like execute that code, so here just one single number will appear in our sequence. But will be always, see here in that particular case, there are 2, 3. So one of them must turn to 1, by the way. Okay, so there are 2. Okay, so in order to resolve that issue, so here we need to add equal. So here I should add 1. So in order to get the reverse sequence, I will need to process the all numbers. Started from 6 until 1. So in here, the last one I will add 0. Okay, so now if I will run, create sequence, okay, error. Okay, so here I think we don't need this -1. Yeah, because this -1 is already presented here. Okay, 160534. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Correct. Okay, so yeah, now it is scramble, recover. Yeah, okay, so now it start working. So to make sure that everything is working well, so the final shape should be this one. So here, when we are talking about the like, random numbers, so we will have to first process it properly. Okay, so finally we will modify our source code a little bit. Okay, so in the last what I need to do is to create the button clear. So what I will do, I will just remove text from scramble world and descramble world. So I don't want to change the enter world because after that will be hard to change. So, but still we can handle the situation. So here, okay, so what? Scramble world, set text, and scramble world. Oops. Here, set text. Okay, so maybe better to remove lock. Considering that we don't have the sequence yet, so generate sequence, scramble, recover. So now click clear, so everything disappear. So again, generate, scramble, recover. Yeah, I think now that is better. So that's all for today's discussion. So today, again, we discussed the different issues related with our home project. So here, where is the solution, how to get the final solution for this application. So that was not easy in the beginning. So, and in fact, there is another way how to get that particular reverse sequence. So technically, we can just read our indexes one by one and get that particular reverse sequence using the separate loop. So that we will not discuss today. So this solution is good enough to give us a good and correct answer for our home project. So that's all for today. Good luck.